Welcome to There's Insurance for That, your number one destination for all things insurance. We are your hosts. My name is Nate Brown.
And I'm Edwin Moreno, and today we will be talking about key insurance policies that businesses
Gotta
may
have.
need, or you know what? I think like key insurances that they do need, that they need for the business that they should have, that should very, very important. They should definitely have, and just consider looking into them if they don't have them, or reviewing them if they do have them right now. Before we actually even like started this recording,
Yeah.
someone there was an assassination. I mean, literally, and I mean that's the best way we could
In
describe it.
public.
There was an assassination, and it's I think where we were at, it's like the
Charlie Kirk.
yeah, Charlie, Charlie Kirk. Just, I mean, rest in peace. And it's it's interesting. What I was saying earlier was like I've heard different both sides of the coin, right? Of like, oh, this individual did this individual did that. But then I've also been hearing kind of this like justification for human life to be ended by someone. And that's the part that I'm like, I just can't agree with that. Like,
Nah.
no matter who the person is, what the person said, I'm like, just for someone else to decide, hey, I'm deciding when your life ends. There
Yeah.
is, I believe that's a very scary time we're heading into where someone
Yeah.
can't express something that is, hey, it's contradictory to what a lot of people believe. And at the
Yeah.
same time, they can't express that without fearing their life, without fearing their life. And
Yeah.
then something I said is like this this man had a family,
He
you
had a
know?
family, man. Like that part. To disregard, this man had a family. You totally changed the way his family has to live. His children have to grow up because you disagree with him. You know what I mean? Or he disagreed with you. Like he didn't beat your mama up. You know what I mean? He didn't steal money from you. He just had a microphone and spoke his opinion. And for whatever reason, it went viral. It did whatever. But to end the way someone is living because you disagree or hate or something like that is beyond me. And now we got to look at the way those who are affected by it personally and business wise, what the heck do they do? Like his movement had a lot of volunteers, but it was employing people. It was keeping a roof over his wife's head, his children's head, keeping them fed. Today, like literally today, if not last night, after getting a million phone calls, having the worst day of their life ever, they now have to say, did hubby have insurance in place for his businesses,
Right,
for us?
right.
Like it's so many. I'm sure she had to make these tough phone calls last night or today. Probably making them right now while we're on this pod.
But yeah, I was gonna
Literally,
say they're probably still
literally.
going on right now. Because I mean,
Brain
one
is
of the
just
main things is like what you said is like we saw this person, like we saw this figure, like we saw this public figure,
yeah,
but we didn't see the business behind it, right? Because it's like ultimately, like this individual was a brand, and so this brand was being backed by people. This brand was a lot was dependent on the brand, and so there's something that businesses get, which is, we talked about it, key man insurance, right?
yeah.
It's it's
Key
a life
person,
insurance, huh?
key person these days, right?
Oh yeah, but yeah,
Key person
thank you.
insurance.
Thank you. Yes, key person insurance. So there's this key person insurance that you can purchase.
Yeah.
Um, it's a life insurance policy ultimately, but it's like you're naming, but it's more like it's under the business, right? Like the business pays for
Yeah.
it, the business is covering it, and then it covers in case you pass away, right? And
Absolutely.
and you and like to fill your role, it's gonna take a lot,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah. Like key person insurance is for that reason. I mean, it is a life insurance, but it's like if you're a major player of a business or the major player in this case, you know, you would like for your movement to go on. You like for your businesses and the things that you've been trying to accomplish in building your business to financially at least still be able to go on. So key persons insurance is for that reason. Let's say it's a business that has two partners. Let's say it's Procter and Gamble, for example. First name that popped on my head. If Gamble goes and Gamble is, he handles 50% of the business operations, and oh my gosh, we need to hire somebody who's been with the company almost as long and that knows his role. That's going to be a high salary. We need insurance for that. He's gone, his knowledge and expertise is gone, and we don't know how to fill those shoes. We have to hire the next person, and that person's going to be worth this much to us. So insurance company, gamble has passed. We need to hire his replacement and pay this person accordingly. That's where the insurance comes in. Or, hey, if this person goes away, our business takes a big financial hit, at least temporarily. So we need insurance to make sure we can keep operation costs going. Everything that this person managed, the business needs money to make sure we can stay afloat in this person's absence. It's like, Apple losing Steve Jobs. I bet somewhere they had a key man insurance on this guy. It was
That's
like
a good point.
they're
Yeah,
like,
no,
yeah, we need key man
ab
insurance on this guy.
well, I'm also thinking about buyouts because
Mm,
it's like if I'm we have a business together, right? Me and you have a business together. If I pass, you're gonna be like, okay, wait a minute, I don't want to be partners with your wife.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like I don't want to be partners with your wife. Like it's like she doesn't have the expertise that you have. She doesn't have the so let's get a key person insurance or let's get two, right? One to like cover the loss and another one that's under that like gets that is a payout kind of type of
Right.
thing where it's like, hey, this is under your wife's name, and then once kind of like once we or if it's under the company's name, once you go, we'll grab this money and just pay it, right? Like pay you out or pay your family
Absolutely.
out because technically, like there's no owner anymore, right?
Right.
And so we want to buy that portion out, or we're going to use this key person insurance policy to buy
Care
that
of that.
person out of
Yeah.
the company, and just like
Absolutely.
take care of the family. And so some
And
people structure it in this way where, so I mean, who knows? I'm wondering what's happening. I mean, I wonder what the setup is for Charlie Kirk right now.
yeah,
I mean, and
I
it's
don't.
hard
I
to
mean,
assume.
yeah, I don't want to assume, but in most cases, with the key man's insurance or key person, gotta say that. Even
Yeah.
right now, so I have a company right now that I'm working with. The two owners, one's a male, one's a female,
Okay.
and we're literally doing the key persons on both of them for the reason. And in most situations like that, the company is the is the owner of the policy.
Right.
And the proposed insured, of course, is the person, but the beneficiary is usually, in most cases, it's a 50-50. And so 50% of the beneficiary may be the company. Like, hey, if this person goes, the company's going to need set amount of hundreds of thousands or millions to stay afloat. Like in this example, this is a real estate company. We still need to acquire, buy homes and to fix and sell to stay
Pay off debt.
business.
Yeah, we need
And
to pay off
then
debt that you like
that
brought
too.
in too, right?
And then the other half of the beneficiary pool goes to the family. Because they're like, hey, if something happens to you, your family is used to a certain amount of, income or
Right,
lifestyle. We want to, respect that and maintain that. So if, God calls you home, guess what? Your sons and daughters can still, they're not going to be putting up a tent next week. Like, hey, we can't afford the house. We have to
right.
beg for food now. So that's kind of usually the structure of a key man's person. We want to take care of the business and then we want to take care of the family. So that's why a lot of those premiums usually have a pretty high death benefit, for those reasons. So other little miscellaneous things that come in with the business costs, like you said, buyouts, fees, different things that just need to be covered in someone's absence. So that's key man insurance. So that's important to have in any business that you foresee yourself, hey, I want the business to live on when I'm gone. Or if you have partnerships, my partners need to be compensated, or the business needs to be compensated in their absence, and their families need to be compensated in their absence. That's the key man part of having insurance that a business may definitely want to look into. So if you want to look into that, just put an inquiry in. There's insurance for that at gmail.com. We'll respond to you. And that's on the personal side, like being a person on the business. Now, Edwin, what is it about the business itself? It's technically a person. It has like an EIN number, it has certain things. So, what are some of the key insurance that a business has to have, or really, really, really should have?
Yeah, I mean, in this, I'll speak for in the state of Illinois. We're here, I'm out of Chicago, and so in the state of Illinois, it's law for business. It's workers' compensation law states if you hire someone to do work for you, they have to be covered under a workers' compensation policy.
Mm,
So if you have, so here's the thing too. It's kind of grabbing this example of what just happened. It's this individual was a business, even if they're an individual or they're under this nonprofit, like there's workers' comp, like
yeah,
there's work that's being done. There's maybe if you're being compensated in some kind of way, there's a workers' compensation policy that's tied to it, and then there are dollar limits based on what the injury is, right? And so,
yeah,
being called back home to God, I like the way you put that, like being called back home to God, there's insurance for that. There's a limit. There's like a limit for that too under workers' compensation as well.
mm,
So it's really important for any business, anything were to happen,
it's
to
comp,
have a workers' compensation
have
policy.
it.
It's one of those things where it's like if you have salespeople, sometimes they say, I only have salespeople. There's no risk there. Well, your salesperson is maybe going to an appointment, and on their way to the appointment, that's their job, right? They're performing their work heading to that appointment. So if they get into a car accident and they're injured in that car accident, that's a workers' compensation claim,
Didn't know
right?
that. Didn't even look at it that way. I'm so used to you hear, oh, if a slip and fall or machine
No,
on top of you or a forklift fails, but
no.
yeah,
Carpal
that's
tunnel. Carpal tunnel is a workers' compensation claim.
get out of here.
Yeah, if you're working somewhere, if you're a clerical, you're an office employee, and you get carpal tunnel, that's a workers' comp claim. That happened because of the work that you're doing.
I wonder. My mom has carpal tunnel, or she
Well,
had
I
when she
mean,
was working. I wonder if she
I don't
probably
know if
didn't
she
even know
probably didn't even know she could file a work
look
comp claim.
into that.
Probably had no, ain't no company advertising that. Ain't no company advertising, hey,
You
look,
got
man,
carpal
like
tunnel? We got
your
insurance
carpal
for that.
tunnel,
Yeah.
let's file a work comp claim. I mean, I don't see there's,
Wow.
the cost for office employees is so low. It's like, I don't see why not. Like, there should be more awareness and
Yeah.
things like that, because it's like, I mean, if
Mm,
one of my employees is injured because of the jobs that they're doing, I mean, that's what I have insurance for. I mean, that's the point.
yeah.
That's what we're paying for. It's not about taking advantage of it, it's just like utilizing it. So
Mm,
for a business, like that's law. It's like workers' comp. I think it's key. You should have workers' compensation. If you have anyone, some people are like, well, they're only contractors. They're 1099 employees. Okay, well, are they giving you proof that they have their own? If they're not giving you proof that they have their own, you need to be covering them under yours.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
That question was in the back of my mind. Like, what about 1099ers? Like just the solopreneur
I,
that's out there. They're like, I don't need workman's comp. I'm not hiring other people. I'm just me. They need something. What
They need something. Well, look, they need something for themselves. That's A.
themselves?
So they can say, I'm going to get a workers' comp policy, and I'm going to include myself because you could include yourself on your workers' comp policy. I,
Okay.
I'm not going to get too technical. There's more to that. If you have more questions about that, reach out. There's insurance for that at gmail.com. Be more than happy to get like into the technicalities of that part. But like, yes, like as your own like 1099, I'm out there on my own. You could start your own workers' comp policy that protects you, and you can include yourself, or you can choose to not include yourself because in the state of, it's in the state of Illinois, you have the option to include or exclude yourself. So
Mm.
we'll start there. Like work comp, it's the law. It's extremely, extremely, extremely important. Another one that a lot of people don't talk about is professional liability.
School us.
Yeah, so
I
that's
mean,
errors.
never
So
even
it's
heard
called,
of that before.
yeah, so there's another terminology for it, which is errors and omission
Oh,
insurance,
okay.
right?
Okay, I got that one.
You
Yeah.
got that one, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's professional. I like professional liability because it's like more specific. It lets you know like it's specific to your profession, right?
Yeah.
It's like letting you know this isn't just a general like policy. Like we're trying to look at like what you do and where the money is in what you do and how we can protect you if you cause someone to lose money or if you cause, like, and that's the monetary, because your general liability is property damage and bodily injury. Your professional liability is more like it's
Funny.
like contracting, it's money. It's like
Mhm.
it's more like, all right, the profession that you do, you made a promise. Did you keep that promise? Right? And
Yeah.
and if you didn't, why didn't you keep that promise? How much money did that person lose? And if they sue you for that money, like 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 we have to pay them for that, right?
Yeah.
So that's like professional liability. Like for a security company, for example, like if I'm private security and something happens to my client, I have to have professional liability. Because if I had an error or an omission that caused my client damages, which at the same time, now the income of this company is damaged because of my profession that I was here to, because what I was supposed to do. And they're like, look, we lost $1 million now because of this, because of you. Who's going to
Mm,
recover these $1 million? Right?
yeah.
Oh, my professional liability, my errors and omissions is going to cover
Heck
that.
yeah.
There's insurance for that.
There's
That's
insurance for that.
so professional. One thing that blew my mind is that there is social media influencer professional liability.
Pause. Oh, what? Oh, what? What is that, and why does a social media influencer, which are everywhere, why do they need that?
Because they're telling people what to do in a way.
Mm,
So people are following like their advice. Some people are quitting their jobs and they're like, "Oh, this person said that
right.
this is what I can do." So then they're like doing it and they're like, "Wait a minute, it's actually no, that's not how it works." Like
Mhm.
you didn't look into my case. Like I do this, I do this. You didn't even think about the things that I do, but you said that I can do it, and then now I've lost my home, I like lost my job, and so this is your fault. The social media influencer could say, it's not my fault. I didn't tell you to do it. You accepted to do it. No, yeah, I understand that, but I've lost a lot of money because of your specific advice. And they could tie how this person's advice, step by step, actually made this person lose money. That's a lawsuit.
So the influencer, to safeguard themselves in the case if somebody takes their advice or says they took their advice and it didn't go right and they want to sue the influencer has some sort of coverage for that. Like, hey, if you sue me, you're not gonna touch my wallet, but I do got insurance for that. Because if you're trying to say I'm thinking of malpractice insurance. That's like the same thing for
Same
doctors.
thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
No,
Yeah,
so
same
I
thing.
did not know social influence. I'm thinking of a guy right now who it's a guy I follow. Him 500. Shout out to him 500. Him and the other guy, Tony the Closer. They're like beefing right now in the most craziest way publicly on social media. But it's getting legal now, and they're saying, "Oh, you're scamming someone," because one guy claims he took him 500's advice of like credit loans and all that stuff, and next thing you know, he's at the bank with these like fake checks or something like that, and he's getting arrested on social media. He said, no, I'm listening to what him 500 told me. And him 500's like, nah, bro, you just had some. That was you try to scam. You didn't say you listen to me. I'm not a scammer. What you try to do is not what I said do. And he at least didn't follow the rules.
But listen, so the insurance would protect him 500. So him 500 is not even involved in that. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna file a claim.
I'll
They'll
claim.
figure it out. I don't gotta, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Do you hear that, influencers? All you influencers. If you happen to be saying cook this chicken this way and this person's allergic to whatever seasoning you said, and they say such and such said to put this paprika this way, I'm going to sue. You need to get some, what is it called again? Social media
Social media
influencer
influencer insurance. It's social media influencer
insurance.
professional. Yeah, it's a like social media
Wow.
influencer professional liability insurance. But yeah,
Boom. You
yeah,
need that.
yeah, you need that. Yeah,
You
they need
need
it.
that.
So every business, so that's an influencer, but like every business should look into like a professional like liability, especially if they're like messing with people's money. Like if they're like or they're in
Mm,
some way, shape, or form like messing with people's money or like or there's a monetary kind of like type of thing there. I
yeah.
mean, even contractors can get professional liability. You know what I mean? Because yeah, contractors could get professional liability. I'll give you an example for a contractor. You hire me, I hire a contractor to help me with a build out for commercial property. And I need this done by January because I have someone who's going to pay me $100,000 to use this space in January for like a
Yeah.
couple months. And so my contractor says, yeah, I'll get it done by then. They sign the contract. I got it in writing. The invoice says, yeah, work will be done by this date. Okay, perfect. The work isn't done. January comes, the work isn't done. Now, I lost this contract.
Uh-huh.
So the $100,000 contract, like, hey man, we thought this would be done by now. We can't work with you. So now I'm going to sue this contractor. I'm going to say, hey, look, you told me that you would do this by this time. It's not done. Like I need this money. I lost out on a lot of money because it's strictly because of you. Where's your professional liability? That's where professional liability would come
Professional
in that
liability.
case. So it's just there's a lot of different contractors, social media influencers, public figures. It's like I'm feel very confident that there's I mean that's just confident. I know that it's very important. Like those are key insurance policies that at least look into them, you know.
If you don't have this and you get sued, it's coming out your wallet.
Right, right,
So yeah,
right.
don't
So
think
those
about
are
that.
yeah,
Huh?
so those are like then there's a basic there's basic coverages like your standard general liability. It's just like slips and falls. I kind of talked about it a little bit. Slips, falls, like what you said. Like I thought insurance only covers like slips and falls, like like things like that. Where
Yeah.
it's like there's a general liability for your business for like when people come in, if anyone slips and falls when they come in, not an employee, a third party, right? Someone who doesn't work for you.
Mm,
So you get this policy, but within that, I think this is very key for businesses with employees. It's called EPLI, okay?
EPL.
Employment Practices Liability Insurance.
Mm,
Okay, employment practices liability, and you can actually get this standalone. You can get one policy just for EPLI if you want to. This policy, it's good because it protects you if anyone claims that they got fired for discrimination. If anyone claims that they were, you know, somehow like verbally abused at work.
okay.
Someone claims I mean, honestly, there's even like, there's layers to this where it's like, I'll give you an example. At an office, a UPS driver came in, a female UPS
Hmm.
driver, and the people from the office were hitting on the UPS driver. The
Yeah.
UPS driver filed a lawsuit
Ooh.
against the business saying, like I was sexually assaulted, like I was verbally assaulted and sexually assaulted, and I just didn't like the way I was being treated. And I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, they had like video and they had like some kind of like there was evidence around it. And so
Yeah.
that's third party EPLI, right?
Mm.
So you could be covered for this,
So
like
the
as a
business should get that in case someone wants to sue the company. Okay. Question. Okay, they sue the company. I'm thinking my gears are turning. I'm thinking if I am okay for the staff person themselves who is getting here right, then they want to sue the company. There's okay. I was trying to think, is there anything to protect them in a situation? But no, okay. I just had to think that through. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, no, yeah. Well, what was your question? Is there
I had to
anything to
process
protect?
that. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
wondering, is
yeah.
there anything on the employee side, like something that they may get if they're feeling? harassed or hostile work. Like for example, but I think I answered my question as I was thinking it through. Like I have a buddy who works for City of Chicago, and in his department, what they do, he is the only black guy. And there's already been situations where he felt like a little discriminated or felt a little hey, you guys are doing this to me because I'm black. You know what I mean? All the rest of guys. So is there if he were to really feel had concrete evidence that he's being discriminated against or feeling some type of way and he sues the city of Chicago, if they have this in place, which I would assume they would, but if
Yeah,
no,
and
they
they're
would feel
self-insured.
they would
There's
file a claim
yeah,
if he asks for damages or pay or something
yeah,
like that. Okay.
yeah, and the cities like municipalities are usually self-insured.
Okay.
A lot of like cities, like city like those large like city entities and like government entities, like
Hmm.
they have their own they have their own insurance fund.
Okay. Gotcha.
That they just like that money goes into there, and it's like police. Like police has their own it's through the like city's insurance fund.
Gotcha.
So anything
Okay.
that happens, we kind of we the tax it's a taxpayer, like we pay for it in a way. It's like these lawsuits with yeah. That's an interesting that's a conversation for another time, I think. But
That's a whole nother podcast, right?
yeah, that's a whole
Yeah.
that's a whole other
That's
that's
a
a whole other
different
conversation.
pod.
But yeah, ultimately there's insurance for that. Like it's and they're constantly the social media influencer one, it just blew my mind because it just showed me like the evolution of insurance. Like the evolution of insurance, and insurance adapts to where it's needed, and
Yeah.
like I like the example that insurance, it's a transfer of risk, right? All you're doing is you're saying, look, what I'm doing, I don't want anything to come back to me. So I'm going to pay so that you can take care of all that if and when it happens, you know? And so the last policy I'm going to just leave off with, man, I got a lot of policies, but the last one is cyber. We're in a cyber. We're in a it's a wild, wild west of cyber right
Yeah.
now. Cyber insurance is very important. And what I mean by cyber insurance, so yeah, cyber insurance, it's a policy that will protect you like in case there's a cyber attack, some type of hacking in your system. What happens is a lot of businesses are collecting a lot of data. A lot of businesses are collecting people's dates of births, people's credit card information. When
Yeah.
there's a breach, there are if you have X amount, I'm not 100% on what the number is, but let's say your business that's generating over $1 million, you
Hmm.
most likely fall under this category where if you get hacked, you have to let all your clients know that you were hacked.
Hmm.
That costs money. Like
Yeah.
all those, bro, that cost, and there's a procedure, like law states, there's a procedure you have to follow to let everyone know. We get notifications from like Bank of America or like Chase or like whatever
Yeah.
these all these different companies, like we've been hacked. That's money. That's a claim that they filed. And that's money that they had to invest to stop and be like, we have to send this email out to everyone and we have to investigate this and we have to get a forensics team. So cyber helps pay for those things.
Pay for all that. Okay.
So smaller businesses, they're going to start falling into this where it's like they're going to have to close down because they were hacked and they don't have the money to let everyone know what happened, or they don't have the know-how of
Good
like
example. Living in Google
they don't
two
have the
years
know.
ago, I was hacked. Dominance Financial got hacked. Could not run ads, lost revenue, lost business for 6 months. I
There's
did
loss of
not
income.
know about this insurance.
There's
See?
lot there's loss of income under cyber. So you can get covered for loss of income for that time. You can get covered for like
Um,
the investigation. They'll give you money for like, sending out like letting everyone know. Some of these companies have like their own like cyber team. So like they'll walk you through like, okay, this is what you got to do. Let's like do this first. So like you're like you're paying for the advocacy, like you're also paying for like that, like, yeah, you're gonna get a payout, but you got people that are very experienced and that have like seen these claims already. Like you're not just paying for like an insurance policy, like you're paying for the backing of this company that has years and years and millions of dollars of data that lets
Yeah,
them know what's the best way to go about something when it happens.
yeah, yeah. And in most cases, we're dealing with big players. Like again, like Facebook, Instagram. Like you can't even get in contact with a physical person in these big old arenas.
No.
But these insurance claim company, they got a team now goes to dig. They'll go find, the who they need to find and make this happen. So I'm thinking for business owners, it's funny, you hear you don't know what you don't know. So that's why I'm thankful for this podcast. I'm learning with you guys in real time. So I'm thinking of people who start businesses. You think of, I'll have to, depending on your business, I have to buy my products first. I need products to sell prior to having profit to even pay for an insurance claim. You might want to put some insurance as one of your top priorities to have. You're like, well, it's just in case. All right, let me just tell this as a 8-year business owner. I learned this from some other business owners, and then you live it. Sometimes the worst possible thing that can happen will happen. Like it's almost inevitable at some point in your career, it will happen. So make sure you get the insurances in place. Make sure out of your budget from your profits, you start to budget money for insurance. Because guess what? There are going to be claims that need to be filed, and you do not want
Even
to be
before, I would say, listen, I would
left
say
out.
if you're thinking about starting a business, think about the insurance.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like
Yeah, think
honestly.
about the insurance
Look,
policies.
listen, I have someone real true life story. They're like, I want to start a trucking company. Okay, cool. Do you have the truck? No, I don't have the truck yet. Right. Okay, great. So do you know what the insurance cost is? Well, no, that's why I want to get an idea. This is a perfect client because to me, they're doing their due diligence
Yeah,
and they want to know how much this is going to cost me. And then exhibit B, another client, same industry, reaches out. Hey, I need insurance for my truck. I just got it yesterday. Okay, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing long haul. Long haul. So you're going to like all 50 states. Yeah, I'm going all the way to Texas, I go to California, I'm going everywhere. Okay. How much experience do you have? None. Okay. Um, so look, the insurance for this truck minimum is going to be $15,000 for the year minimum. What?
what?
Nah, man. Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Why? Because that's this industry. That's how. Oh, I can't do this then. What am I going to do? I got this truck.
Bruh,
I don't know. I'm not even making that much. How am I supposed to start? You need the insurance just to get your deal, like just to get like your MC number processed. Like you
get it
need
going.
like you need this just to get approved. Like if you have no insurance, this gets submitted to the state. They know because you need filings because you're leaving the state. So there's
Yeah,
levels that like you kind of like, do you have your MC number yet? No, no. Why do I need that? So there's all these things that I'm like, so so now so now, so look, like, so then I'll speak like, and I learned from this, Nate, because I'm like,
dude.
look, I started a catering business for that because I mean, not just for that. Look, it's like it's my grandma's recipe, pocket world. It means a lot to me. It's something like really important
Yeah,
to me. And at the same time, I'm starting small with like just like catering empanadas because the catering restaurant like insurance policies are very inexpensive. They're
yeah.
like they're like
Okay.
they're like $750 for the year, you know?
Oh yeah.
So right. So to me, so there's just this like and it's I'm grateful that I have this knowledge and that I'm aware of like how these things operate because
Yeah.
that's what like all right, cool. Like I already had an idea. I knew like all right, this is what it's gonna cost. So hey, if you're thinking about opening a business, think about the insurance. Just think about because there's a cost. Even your
That's the
workout.
reason why I'm laughing, man, because I feel like there's so many people that use that example. Hey, like, hey, I just bought a box truck. I'm ready to go. Because the social media influencers said, just get you a truck and a driver's license, and you can go make $10,000 a month. Buy my course. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm
And
like,
it's,
yeah. And then they're
Right.
like,
The
oh,
truck driver
shoot.
stopped driving to sell the courses because the insurance for the insurance for the trucking is too expensive.
Oh crap. I'm laughing because I see it all the time. Like I had a buddy who did that. He got himself into the game. Then he said, dude, my insurance is 9,600 a month. He said, I'm going here and there and it's eating me up. He didn't know. And I was like, man, this is the call you need to make ahead of time. Like, find out everything you need to start and sustain your business, and then find out the insurances that you need to have in place. It will save you a lot of heartache and pain later on. Like in our business, they won't even, these carriers won't even let you sell a policy without E&O. Like
Right.
they will
Right.
not let you even, you're not even playing that game. So even with yourself, take it seriously. Like, hey, I don't care if you're doing hair, somebody can see you. You messed up my hair. I'm gonna sue you. Get yourself insured. Like there's insurance.
Yeah, there's beauticians. Yeah, there's beautician professional liability. That's
Oh,
exactly. Yeah, there's beautician professional liability. There's all of it, man. There's like honestly, like it's there, and I think it's what stops people from growing because they're scared. You know,
yeah,
we're scared as a society. Like we're scared as a society because we're like, what if someone sues me? What if someone does this to me? There's insurance for that.
yeah,
It's okay. There's insurance for that. You know,
man.
so and then if you can't cover it now, then how do you like I have someone, a roofing contractor. They're doing GC work right now, but they want to get into roofing. Hey, can I get a quote for the roofing because it's something that we want to get into? Do we need two policies? Well, no, we got to classify them both under one because it's not legal to have two policies for the same business. So it's like so we can we can put them all into one, but it's going to be this much more. Okay, cool. I'm not ready for that yet. Let me keep focusing on this. I'm gonna save up the money, then I'm gonna pay for that policy when I'm ready, right?
Mm,
Because it's this understanding of like, okay, there's a cost. There's a cost to do business. You
yeah,
know,
it is. It
there's
is.
a saying that I don't. It's funny, man. I personally didn't like this saying. I don't know why it's triggered me throughout my life, but it's like you gotta spend money to make money. You know,
Yeah,
it's like one of these like sayings that it's like I think it's like I hear it so much and I'm just like, man, shut up. But it's true.
it's true. It's
It's
true.
true.
It's true.
Maybe I don't like it because of how true it is.
Yeah.
Like someone else told me the other day, if you want to make $1 million, you got to help someone else make $1 million first.
Mm,
Like you got to give away 1 million before you
mm.
make your million.
The law of reciprocity. I mean, it to a degree, it's real. It's oh man, that's a whole nother podcast right there. But
Uh,
man,
well,
maybe
yeah,
we
that's
do
the next one. I agree.
on
Reciprocity is a
ethics,
great one.
on ethics and reciprocation, man. Because it goes hand in hand, man. You got to have a code of ethics when you're doing this business, and to keep it focused with what we're at now, part of your code of ethics needs to be I need to get the proper insurance for my business because everyone wants to scale up, and as you get to higher levels, there's going to be situations you might be. Again, I didn't even know there was a beautician's professional insurance, so I'm thinking if you start off doing cutting hair, you're doing your homeboy down the street's hair, that's fine. It's cool. You're making some bucks. But as you scale up and you start getting random people, then you get you're happy you get a wedding party. Man, I got 13 guys about to come in. I'm about to cut their hair. Or I'm about to do beautician. I'm about to dye 13. You big payday. But let you screw up the bride's hair or let this be an event that's about to go on the news and you got them looking crazy. I asked for blonde and I got platinum. I'm suing you. You better
Yeah,
be
yeah,
ready. You
yeah.
better be ready.
I mean, that's professional because that ain't gonna be under general liability. I mean, maybe products and completed operations, but like, what if you like use the scissors, you cut someone? Like there's all these different
Ooh.
layers to it.
Yeah, I funny. Jay-Z said to all these people, make sure you got your lawyer fees together. Make sure you got your insurance fees together. You know what I mean? Make sure you got your insurance fees.
Hey, it kind of ties into what Jay said because insurance companies got a whole team of attorneys waiting
Whole
for these
team.
claims. Like they don't want to pay them all out. They ain't trying to pay all the claims out. What
No,
I mean by that is like if you're getting sued by someone, they're gonna be like, hold on a second, before we're gonna pay you, let's make sure this is real.
get
Like,
the lawyer on it.
let's really look into this. You ain't got time to do that. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
got time to let me look into this before like because they're suing me. I got to do my research. bro, no, like just get an insurance policy. They got a whole team that does all that,
They
so
do. Whole
that's
team.
yeah. I mean, I think we're at time. I want to. You
Yeah,
got any
we're at time.
takeaways?
We're at
Yeah,
time.
you got any
Dude, I got a ton
takeaways?
of takeaways. I learned a lot in this podcast. Like I did not know a lot about these needs. And so speaking from personal experience, I'm like, crap, I wish I knew about something 2 years ago. And now that I know, I need to go ahead and plan accordingly because who's to say it can't happen again? You know, I'm literally back to running Facebook ads again for business. Who's to say someone couldn't hack me again? You know what I mean? God forbid it doesn't happen, but I got a lot of security measures in place. But man, this is the wild, wild west of the internet. Like what? Anything can happen. So yeah, I need to be able to, if I need to attack Zuckerberg or somebody, or whoever, not him personally, but if something happens, I need to come at some fictitious weirdness going on. I need to have the insurances in place because I'm probably gonna have to take a hit until stuff gets resolved. So that was one of my biggest takeaways. I didn't know there are so many intricate types. So it pays to reach out to there's insurance for that at Gmail, forward it over to Edwin and ask the right questions. What's your type of business? What do you plan on doing? How is the funding? What are things going so that he can iron out what type of insurances you really want to have in place for your situation. And then if there's something life, like you're doing roofing, hey, I don't know how many people fall off a roof. It happens. Or fall through the roof. It happens. You need to have your workman's comp. You need to have your living benefits throughout your life insurance policy. If you get crippled or dysfunction for a little bit, you gotta have so many things in place. So that was my biggest takeaway: is all the different types that are out there. I did not know that, so I learned a lot with that one for
Yeah, man, I
sure.
thought we even scratched the surface because there's like so many more policies too. But, but that
I
was
bet.
yeah. Yeah, I think for me, a couple things. A big one was like formatting. I never thought about the different formations of key person insurance. Like, hey,
Mhm.
50% for the business, like the business owns it, but like 50% goes to the business, 50% goes to like there's ways that you could structure it where the payout is there, like it's all pretty much drawn out. And
Yeah,
so it's interesting, and another thing that stood out to me was the claim that you could have had and how like we've been knowing each other for a while. And sometimes I forget to like talk to the people close to me about insurance and about like,
yeah,
because I think like what I hear in my head is like, oh, that's too much. But I don't think it is. Like if I like someone I know, I'm like, hey, bro, I see your business, and like this is the gaps. Like these are some gaps that I'm seeing. Do you have those covered? And so I really like I took that away from here of like, okay, I can do that more with people in my circle, and I could like I could practice more of that advisor in me,
yeah,
and just kind of like, oh, you got a business, so what's up? Like, what are you concerned about? Are you concerned about anything? You don't have to, it's like I'm not expecting you to buy a policy from me, and I know this stuff, so why not like utilize like the knowledge that I
yeah.
that I know and
Information.
and put it out there more. So that's something, that's another thing that definitely stood out to me. And I just want to give just like send my love to the families out there, just like send my love to I just like I really want there to be more love to be spread in in in
Yeah,
in our world. I think a takeaway for me is just like as human, I think we're all the human race. It's something like we're all like something that we all have in common. And I'd like for us to like I think finding common ground is beautiful. It's like, Nate, there's a lot of battle, I think, in the insurance industry with like insurance agents sometimes where it's like,
mhm,
oh, I do this, well, wait a minute, this person does this. Like there's like the competition aspect, which I'm a competitive person, so I get that. And like I love what we're doing here because we're like we know like like we have things that are in common and we're
yeah,
building on that instead of
yeah.
like finding reasons to
Bridging
not.
the gap and building on that, on that bridge, like for sure. Like, yeah,
Yes, yes,
yes,
yes. I
yes.
love that. Bridging the gap and building upon it, which just makes the foundation that much stronger, right?
Definitely.
Um, so yeah, man, yeah, this was really good. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe. Nate, that's
Yeah.
I just kind of took your thunder. But if there's anything else you want to
Yeah,
add,
bro. Stay tuned for the next episode of There's Insurance for That. We got you. Peace.
please.